The 1975 World Series between the Red Sox and the Cincinnati Reds is considered by many the greatest of all time. And 50 years later, with the Reds in town, we devote a little bit of tonight's broadcast to celebrating 75. We'll have some guests, some flashbacks, and a lot of nostalgia coming your way tonight at Fenway. Good evening, everybody. Welcome for game number 2, the Cincinnati Reds and the Boston Red Sox. Dave O'Brien alongside Lou Merlone. That will include a very unique wardrobe look as well. Wait to get a look at Jemai Webster in a couple of moments. This would have been Dick Stockton. This would have been Hawk Harrelson, a couple of legends in their own right. There were legends all over the field when they met in that series.
6 Hall of Famers in that series. And if you're a kid from Framingham and you grew up in this area, this was the era of the Red Sox that you remember, right? This was, whether it's Carlton Fisk, Dwight Evans, Fred Lynn, Jim Rice, all across the field, and of course, Kari Yastrzemski. These are my guys that I grew up with, Obi, and I tell you, this is one of the most historic series in Red Sox history. I know they didn't win it, but you feel like this was a start of something.
What do you mean they didn't win it? Bob Montgomery and Rick Wise are going to be joining us. That'll be in the second inning. Jim Rice coming your way in the fourth. Couple of innings, you will see graphics packages very similar to 75. A reminder just how far coverage of baseball has come over the years. So very happy reminders. Our celebration of the iconic 75 World Series between the Red Sox and the Reds continues as we go back in time. And for the next 2 innings, we cover the game in a style very similar to broadcasts of the 70s. Last 50 years, a few things we've all become accustomed to when watching baseball. So we're keeping the score bug with a retro feel. Swinging a shot here by Benson, and that's going to drop into the gap, cut off by Abreu. And Will Benson begins with a base hit here in the third. Red Sox ahead 2-0. So in the old days, you had to wait for the announcers to give you the score. We're not going to make you do that.
There was no bug at all.
No bug at all.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Green Monster looked a little bit different too. I love seeing the highlights, and it's just the monster, right?
No monster seats.
No seats.
Net up there.
Adds nothing.
No. Encarnacion Strand, the batter, and he'll look at a strike.
We don't even have a strike zone box. I don't know what to do with myself.
Oh, and yeah,
split
screen here.
It's just great.
Love that.
Back here at Fenway Park in Boston, Red Sox on top 2-1 here in the home half of the third inning. And as we talking about the 1975 team and just what they meant to baseball, I was asking Red Sox manager Alex Cora about that earlier today. And of course, he downplayed his knowledge of the game, considering he was just months from being introduced to planet Earth, I guess, at that point as an infant. But he's done his history. He knows about the game and about just all the people who are a part of it. And talk about the 6 Hall of Famers, including Pete Rose and Louis Tiant, who should also be in there. And he said it was just incredible for the game and what it meant. It was a pivotal point in the contest, really, for all baseball fans. You guys talked about the viewership numbers as well. It really is remarkable how it's still considered to this day one of the greatest World Series ever played.
Did you see that number was 75 million?
Yeah, 75, 76 million tuned in. That was a giant increase to watch a baseball game in prime time. The theory back then, as Toro takes the first pitch, 1 man gone, the theory back then was baseball wouldn't play in prime time. Football would, but not baseball. That changed everything, that World Series. Toro lifting a fly ball into right. 2 down very quickly. Oh, I was 12 years old when Pudge hit that one out, and I had dozed off, and my dad in our home down in Marshfield woke me up immediately and said, "You won't believe what just happened."
Yeah.
And I imagine that scene was played out something like it all over New England, all over the country, by Red Sox fans over and over. And you know how baseball is televised came a long way as a result of that reaction shot. That was not typical. That wasn't done in Major League games. That reaction shot of Carlton Fisk, you know, waving that one fair. But that telecast changed everything right out of that spot right there. That's where the camera was. We cover the game very differently now. Well, we are dying to play the 4th inning, but the rain is going to get in the way, and they are out covering the diamond as we speak. with the Sox leading the Cincinnati Reds 2-1. Some showers approaching. Not raining quite yet here at Fenway, but the tarp is on, and we are in an official rain delay here at 8:02. But a wonderful opportunity for us to talk with a Hall of Famer, the great Jim Ed Rice, one of the Gold Dust twins, coming in 1975. Only drew 102 RBIs that season. That's all. So the first question is, I know you're asked this all the time. I know you are, but I've never asked you this question. 75, if Jim Rice is in that lineup, don't the Red Sox win the World Series?
I think you're 100%.
No question.
Yeah, I think, I think Cooper and Benica sort of were filling in for me, and I don't know what they were, like maybe 2 for 17 or something like that.
When you think back on 75, are there thoughts of, I thought the Red Sox would win several world championships with this group of guys, or at least a couple?
Well, I know, and you know, yes, and then you know who they are. You're talking about a Rice, you're talking about a Lynn, you're talking about an Evans, you're talking about a Burleson, and some guy, Hall of Famer catcher named Carlton Fisk. So you had about 6 guys that came up in the organization, were signed by the Red Sox. Then all of a sudden, 1 year, three of them left. Your top one, your top 3 left.
Jim, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.
Great pleasure.
Thanks, Lou.
Hall of Famer, the great Jim Ed Rice. We are in a rain delay at Fenway with the Red Sox leading Cincinnati 2-1.